so it's just never forgetting that you're in the people. This is a people business, right? And any business is the people business, even tech, right? At the end of the day, it's human beings, and you have to pour into your culture, and it can't be an afterthought. And if you do that, like it'll, if when things go wrong, which life is unpredictable, you'll have an army of people who are there to lift you up. So I think it's a lot of that work comes long before the actual moment, March 13th. But I think all the things we've already spoken about, like that's like more of a general, nebulous point, but like, man, the communication, right? Like we were able to communicate on a dime. I remember being amazed through this. I think if you get anything from this episode, like really having your accountability chart. Like there's a book called The E-Myth, and one thing I always think about, it's not what there's this idea that happens where it's like, oh, a business starts off as a little infant and then it grows and eventually one day is mature. It's like, no, the best businesses start off as mature businesses, right? With that in mind, like you have an idea, a skeleton of the roadmap where you want to go, and how you want to develop. And if you plan all of that stuff out, right? The communication, the who's in charge of what, the roles, everything is much more clear, and it's much more easy to execute when it matters. Because the truth is, when COVID happened, it was super, super muddy, right? I mean, the waters themselves were muddy, right? But since our communication and our systems were on point, it made everything much more bearable. And that's really what got us through it. It was the work, the organization that happened beforehand that was able to, we were able to, ultimately thrive, once this has all been said and done. But so that's what I would say. It's the systems and the culture. Like,
I want to touch on culture here for a second, Ian. We have clients that work with us, and most people when they contact us, they want leads, right? They want my marketing is off, right? My marketing is off. There's got to, who do you use for SEO? How do you do Facebook ads? And we don't touch that. We don't touch that. The first thing we touch is culture, because that is what made us survive the pandemic.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
At the start of it all, that is what made us survive the pandemic. So that's where we go first, always. Mike, from your perspective, what do you have to add?
Yeah, I'll just kind of agree with what Ian said, but just kind of holistically looking at it. Yeah, culture is first, and that's comes from leadership all the way down, right? Like whatever the leadership does, the team's going to do.